to this episode of the Let's Sesh podcast. I'm Eddie. The Cambridge Dictionary defines sesh as a period of time spent doing a lot of an enjoyable activity. For example, spending time with friends, watching television, drinking alcohol, or smoking weed. I added that last one. Sometimes I'll have guests on like friends or family. We'll get to know my guests, discuss current events, pop culture, music we can't stop listening to, TV shows, movies. It's a bit of everything. But this week, this is my first solo episode, so bear with me as I try to get more comfortable with this. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone, so please clap. So this week I wanted to talk about the Kendrick Lamar and Aubrey Graham Drake rap battle beef. I'll probably discuss this again with future guests, but this is just me and my thoughts at this current moment. This could all change by next week. A lot's been happening. I'm recording this on June 27th. It's died down a little bit, but I do have a feeling more is about to come out or more is going to happen. So to preface all of this, I've been a fan of both Drake and Kendrick for a very long time, since middle school for both of them. Even before that, really, for Drake, because I used to watch Degrassi with my cousins. I've been a fan since Wheelchair Jimmy, so I've kind of followed him through his, from like acting to his rap music career. So that's like 18 plus years of being a Drake fan. It's been a roller coaster, to say the least. But basically, I just find it really interesting how music can kind of shift the culture and like shape a narrative. Am I a sheeple for the way my own opinion was swayed and changed? Maybe, possibly. But yeah, my opinion has changed on Drake, and I'll get into how I feel now currently about him once we go through the entire rap beef timeline. Okay, so let's just get straight into the timeline because it's a bit to cover. So if what a lot of people are saying is true, this beef has been stewing for a minute, at least on Kendrick's side. People say that many songs going back years are apparently Kendrick taking shots at Drake. Some examples of these songs would be Control, Pay For It, King Kunta, The Heart Part 4, All of the Stars, and America Has a Problem, just to name a few. I'm not going to break down the lyrics in this episode, but those are some of the songs that people mention when they do say that Kendrick has been feeling this way for a minute. So apparently it's about, Drake, and does apply to other rappers. Okay. So really this starts October 6, 2023. Drake drops his album For All the Dogs, and on it he has a song called First Person Shooter Mode featuring J. Cole. In it he says Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick are the big three of rap right now. That's all he said. So that was 2023. So even though this beef had been starting for a minute, I think Megan Thee Stallion kind of kicked it off a little bit in 2024. All right. She kind of got everybody into the studio to shit on Drake. Her song Hiss was released on January 25th, 2024. A lot of people thought that was about Nicki Minaj, and I think it was like one or two lines that maybe were directed at her, but majority of it was directed at Drake and other rappers that were writing for him and Tory Lanez after he shot Megan. So that was January 25th. Hiss comes out. It's quiet until March 22nd, 2024. Metro Boomin releases his album, We Don't Trust You. This is a joint collaboration with Future. Track number 6 is called Like That, featuring Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar directly responds to Drake and J. Cole. April 5th, 2024, J. Cole releases 7-Minute Drill. This is a direct response to Kendrick Lamar. 2 days later, on April 7th, 2024, J. Cole retracts 7-Minute Drill and issues a public apology to Kendrick. And then a few days after that, 7-Minute Drill is removed from all streaming platforms. So allegedly, apparently, Schoolboy Q reached out to J. Cole and told him Kendrick has something diabolical planned for this rap beef, so maybe you're going to want to distance yourself from this battle. If that's true, J. Cole is smart for listening to that, for heeding that warning, because nobody had any idea of what was to come. This was April 7th, all right? So a couple of days after April 7th, 7-Minute Drill is removed. April 19th, Drake drops Push-Ups. This is targeting Metro Boomin, Future, The Weeknd, Rick Ross, Ja Morant. Vaguely takes shots at Kendrick, but not really. And then the same day, April 19th, he drops Tailor Made. This one is AI generated to feature Tupac and Snoop Dogg. Thankfully, he took this garbage down after the Tupac estate responded to it and called it what it was. That shit sucked. That was doo-doo from a butt. And then sometime after that, Rick Ross drops Champagne Moments, basically calling Drake Caucasian. April 30th, Kendrick drops Euphoria. This title has many layered meanings, but its biggest reference is to the HBO show Euphoria, for which Drake is one of the executive producers on. At this point, Kendrick hasn't really said much, but this song was definitely foreshadowing what was to come. Like, he was really just teasing what these allegations were gonna be. So that was April 30th. On May 3rd, 2024, Kendrick drops 616 in LA. This song samples Al Green's 1972 song, What a Wonderful Thing Love Is, which features guitarist Teenie Hodges. So if Wikipedia is to be believed, Teenie Hodges is Drake's uncle. You following still? Same day, May 3rd, Drake drops Family Matters. Once again, this is targeting Metro Boomin, Future, The Weeknd, Rick Ross, and this time A$AP Rocky. So Euphoria was kind of insinuating a lot, but Family Matters is where the rap battle kind of started to take a darker tone. Drake now is accusing Kendrick of domestic violence. And then now he's claiming that one of Kendrick's kids is actually the kid of Dave Free, who is Kendrick's producer and close friend, one of his producers. Same day, May 3rd, less than an hour after Drake dropped Family Matters, Kendrick drops Meet the Grams. He's directly addressing everybody in Drake's family on this track. So as all of this is going on, people are now coming forward with stories that they've heard about Drake or that they've seen being around Drake, or certain like parties that they've been to with Drake or put on by Drake. A photo starts floating around showing allegedly, but I think also confirmed, but allegedly, Drake brought up a girl on stage and kissed her, and she was 17 at the time. This was years back, but he was already in his 20s. And then I do think I saw on Twitter that that girl did come forward now as like a 30-something-year-old woman. And then she did say that it was her and she didn't think anything weird at the time or even now, but I think that is still weird. Yeah, I don't know what more to say on that. So stories like this are coming out. You're reading about all this on the internet, and now it's kind of hard to listen to the music and ignore or not think about these stories. They're like sitting in the back of your head now as you listen to these songs and the lyrics. So that's crazy. Okay, so Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams. The very next day, May 4th, Kendrick drops Not Like Us. This one was produced by DJ Mustard. In Not Like Us, Kendrick doubles down on the pedophile accusations, and then he claims that Drake has a secret daughter somewhere. And then one of the bigger like themes of the entire song and what Kendrick is kind of focusing and bringing attention to is what a lot of people have been stating for years is Drake is kind of a culture vulture, right? Like people have been saying this for so long. But a quick history lesson and vocab lesson. This is from thetribe.com, TRIIBE.com. And the writer is Mark B. Braboy. Culture vulture, a term popularized by Rockefeller co-founder Damon Dash. The common idea is when a person from a different cultural and class background enters a space, often one built by and for people of color, and exploits it for personal and monetary gain, often without the original creators or their community benefiting equitably from the outsider's success. Drake kind of does this. Think about his many accents. His music spans like almost all the genres. At what point is it no longer like a show of skill and talent and stealing culture? Drake exploits Atlanta, exploits the South, uses their music, culture, and sound for his benefit. Kendrick, this is still on Not Like Us, by the way. Kendrick is calling out the AI Tupac and Snoop Dogg on Tailor Made, again, pointing to the fact that Drake is using West Coast music and street culture for his benefit and gain. Wow, not really giving anything back to Mark Pre Braboy from The Tribe goes on to say, they've infiltrated hip hop spaces over the years and built relationships with rappers, executives, gang members, and other celebrities, gaining power in rap without having to deal with the hurdles of being black while doing so. I think the funniest of all this is when on Family Matters, Drake says, "You know who really bang a set? My friend YG." And then YG shows up at the Kendrick and Friends pop out concert. But I'll get back to that. Mark Braboy from The Tribe continues. Among the many important takeaways from the Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap battle is that black people shouldn't be afraid to gatekeep hip hop culture from outsiders, and that it's up to us, meaning black Americans, to hold fringe entities accountable for exploiting the most disadvantaged for profit, while not properly crediting or nourishing the communities that shape the imperfect but beautiful culture that is Black America. 100%. At one point, Drake even tries to call out Kendrick, saying, "You don't even give back to your own hood. You don't plant money trees," which isn't true at all. Kendrick is very involved and supportive in the city of Compton. So that all kind of sounds like projection a little bit. So that's Not Like Us. That song was and is a big deal. It's over a month later, almost 2 months later, and it's still being talked about, still being played. It's still being remixed. It's a great song. It's one of the songs of the summer for sure. What's most interesting to me is like the juxtaposition of the fun and lightness of the beat that makes you like want to dance. And then like the flip side is the super dark, ominous serious lyrics calling Drake out as a predator, telling women to keep him away from younger sisters. Like, that's crazy. Um, a few vocal stems that I can't get out of my head due to this song: certified lover boy, certified pedophile, wop, 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 dot, fuck 'em up. I'm saying these constantly throughout my day. They'll never leave my head. And that was May 4th, Not Like Us. The next day, May 5th, Drake drops The Heart Part 6. Drake is trying to deny the pedo allegations in the worst way possible. And then he's claiming that he's been feeding Kendrick false information the whole time, and that everything that he said, he fed to him. Drake says at one point he's too rich to be a pedophile, and then mentions Epstein. Okay, weird. At this point, it kind of feels like he's kind of given up. Like he's scared to push it further. He's scared to say more. Either because he was afraid of what more could come out, or he really just had nothing else to say about Kendrick. And I think that's kind of what it was. Like, kind of grasping at straws about the failing marriage. I mean, we don't know anything about these people. Same day, May 5th, Metro Boomin drops BBL Drizzy. Released as BBL Drizzy 150 beats per minute, BPM.MP3. He releases this as a rap challenge. Whoever could rap the best on this beat, I think, I don't know if it was monetary or you would get to work with Metro Boomin, something like that. Great beat. That was May 5th. Then it's pretty quiet until May 24th. Drake is featured on Sexy Red's song, You My Everything. This song, towards the second half, samples BBL Drizzy. So Drake does rap on BBL Drizzy. And then it's quiet again. June 5th or 6th, I don't really care. Drake is featured on Wagwan Delilah. This song comes from Toronto parody song artist Snow Day. I listened for about 5 seconds and that was more than enough. Don't really have any other thoughts on it. This was his time to respond, and he clearly has nothing else to say or to respond with. So I think at this point, once he put out Wagwan Delilah or endorsed that song that he is featured on, I think that kind of made it obvious for everybody, like, that was kind of him throwing in the towel, kind of admitting that it's over. And it was Jover for sure. That was June 5th, June 6th, I don't know. People talked about it for like an hour and then immediately forgot about it because what the fuck was that? It's pretty quiet until Kendrick Lamar announces the Kendrick Lamar and Friends, the pop-up concert on June 19th or Juneteenth, and it was to take place at the Kia Forum in Inglewood. So it was Juneteenth, tickets look super expensive. We hate Amazon and Jeff Bezos, but shout out to Amazon for live streaming that concert. It really felt like when I was sitting in my living room, I was there. So fuck you, Amazon, but shout out Amazon. Special guests included DJ Mustard, Ty Dolla $ign, Dom Kennedy, Steve Lacy, Tyler the Creator, Roddy Ricch, YG, Blast. All of these guests that he brought out to like perform on their own or with him are from Compton or like surrounding areas, if I'm not mistaken. And then he did bring out DJ Head, who brought out a whole bunch of OG West Coast rappers like Remble, Ray Vaughn, Cuzzos, Meet the Whoops, Wally the Sensei, Westside Boogie, Blue Bucks Clan, RJ Mr. LA, OGZ, Jason Martin, and Tommy the Clown, just to name a few. But I think most important was the Black Hippie reunion. This group started back in 2008 with J Rock, Ab-Soul, Kendrick Lamar, and Schoolboy Q. When Kendrick left TDE in 2022, I guess many kind of just thought that that was also like the last time we would see Black Hippie together. So this was a really cool moment. All right, so then the set list for the concert, or at least Kendrick's set list, starts with Euphoria, DNA, Element. Okay, Euphoria, that's the live debut. DNA, Element, All Right, Swimming Pools, Money Trees with J Rock, Win with J Rock, King's Dead with J Rock, 616 in LA with Ab-Soul. This is the live debut. Collard Greens with Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, and J Rock. That Part with Schoolboy Q. King Kunta, Mad City, Humble, Like That, live debut. Still Dre with Dr. Dre. California Love with Dr. Dre. And then, like the madman Kendrick is, he performs Not Like Us 5 times in a row. 5 times in a row. He just kept going. I've said it a couple times, but Twitter was going crazy during this concert. There are very few like cultural events or like moments that you can pinpoint, or like the internet, or at least Twitter, comes together to like witness and watch something and everybody's tweeting about it. And but yeah, watching it on Amazon Stream, I'll always remember that. I'm sure it was surreal and crazy for the people that were actually at the concert in person. That's crazy. It's June 27th as I record this, and I really haven't listened to Drake in a couple of weeks. He was in every playlist that I've created and listened to for years. Any playlist that I've created, he's one or two of his songs finds its way into it. But now, lately, in the last couple weeks, one of his songs comes on the playlist, or I'm skipping it. I don't know what it is. I just don't want to hear him right now. I have no interest in hearing his music or his voice right now at this point in time. And it's mainly like his newer songs. Old songs from Take Care or Views might sneak in, but majority of the time right now I'm just skipping his songs. I don't know. It's like cringy. I feel weird listening to his music out in public. I don't know why. Don't know why. But I mean, yeah, again, when the discourse kind of puts everything in front of you, all the stories and everything, it's hard to ignore. Um, and then it kind of puts it all like, you step back and look at everything over like the last couple of years, his long career, kind of made me realize, and this isn't like a new realization, maybe I was just part of the problem, but he doesn't treat women very well at all. And he antagonizes them in his music when they no longer want to fuck with him. And that's crazy. I think looking back, Drake's best music was coming out when he thought he still had a chance with Rihanna. Once she solidified her relationship with A$AP Rocky, I feel like everything Drake puts out feels and sounds bitter and kind of incelish. And maybe it was cool and cute 10 years ago, but homie is pushing 40 years old now. I don't know. So maybe this feeling of embarrassment for Drake will pass for, at some point, but for now, I don't feel like I'm losing anything. It's freed up so much of my time to listen to other artists and music. There's so much good music out right now. So many good artists that deserve to be listened to. And I think Drake's had his time. He needs to take a break and go away for a little bit. Like, just Before all this happened, he dropped For All the Dogs. He said he was going to take a break. Had he taken that break, he could have avoided all of this. He should have taken that break. To wrap up on the Kendrick and Drake beef, Kendrick very obviously won. He's the better rapper, he's a maniac. Like, the quickness that he pulled out these songs, these hits, is crazy. Like, that's a genius. He's a genius. I do think this will affect Drake and his career. It won't be his downfall or his like cancellation, but I do think people are going to start thinking twice before collabing with him or attaching their name to one of his projects or songs. Or maybe it doesn't affect anything and the discourse dies down in a few months. But I know a lot of people who have been hating on Drake for a long time are feeling really vindicated right now. They're feeling good. They're looking at us other people who, are late to the party. They're looking at us like we're stupid, but in either case, I hope Kendrick keeps the music and the shots coming. I've been seeing, I think mainly from Drake stans, people are saying that he's like milking this. I don't think so at all. I don't think he's milking anything. I think he's doing his job. He's a performer, an artist. Like, you want him to not put out more songs? Like, I don't get that train of thought. I hope he keeps it coming. I hope he doesn't let up. This is all really hilarious. But yeah, he's for sure one of the greatest rappers of our generation. I think if there was any doubt before, like, this, it's clear cut. So to wrap up this episode, I want to shout out some songs and projects that I've been listening to and obsessed with right now. At the end of each podcast episode, I'll be going through this list myself or with my guest. So Kaytranada's new album, Timeless, is timeless and it's his best album yet. Vince Staples, his new album called Dark Times, also timeless, also his best yet. Charlie XCX, her new album Brat, is really good, also her best yet. John Doe, her new project Nowhere Fast, her best yet. Cousin Stiz's new song, With Me or Not, his best song yet. That'll be it for me this episode. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like and favorite this, rate it, give it 5 stars. Don't give it anything less. We don't need that negativity. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one.